slip, the guard and tackle are working together to that linebacker over their head. Solid job by the left tackle putting this on the guard's lap. The guard's target's a little bit wide on this. His target should be a little bit tighter. Solid job. The guard ends up reaching the 5 technique, and the tackle ends up as the releaser here. He wants to lift. He's got to get out of there to the play side half of that linebacker. That's a solid job. If I'm the right guard, I'm reaching that 3 technique. Once that color goes inside, that linebacker's stacked inside of me, which means I can lift that defensive lineman. In this case, okay, he considers this color to be flashing, this linebacker to be flashing. So he uses a hand technique as a hand check by the 61. So 61 uses the hand check. And he still, watch 61 release to the second level. He stays on the run, great footwork. Great footwork, terrible hairdo, great footwork to get to the second level. He stays square the whole time. He gives good hand and body presence to the man, the uncovered man inside him. And he's off to the second level, again with the intent being that he ends up on the play side half of that linebacker. Now watch the uncovered man. Again, the uncovered man's target is the midline of that covered man, of that 3 technique. So he's aiming at the midline, which means if you aim at the midline right now and that guy slants at you like he's doing, you'll have great contact with that man's body, which you see that the center do in this case. It's a great target by him. That's why we aim at the midline. Because if he slants at me and you're aiming at the midline, you're really going to hit him right down the core of his body, which is what we're looking for. He hits him right at the core, he gets great position on him, and he just reaches him. It's a good-looking double team. Again, here it is up close. You really end up with 2 of them now. You end up with 2 great looks for the double team here. The tight end and the tackle. That's a tough clip. The tight end and the tackle, and then the guard in the center. The thing jumps out real quick. But look at the 2 different levels here. Let's look at the right tackle and number 75 and number 87. So if you look at 75 and 87, 75 is driven by the linebacker. He's uncovered. Okay, now his gap ends up being threatened here after the first step because the 9 technique slants inside. So he ends up driven there, and then 87 ends up as the releaser. 61 right now, him in the center. 61's gap is threatened. He's reaching the defensive lineman. Defensive lineman slants. He becomes the releaser to the second level. The linebacker's stacked. He has to push that back over to the center's lap or the uncovered man's lap. The uncovered man with the center and the right guard right now is driven by the good target by 70, the center. And solid fit. This is a good-looking fit right there. That's a good-looking fit on the double team. You can see they're both hip to hip. They're not blocking each other. They're hip to hip, and they're moving the line of scrimmage. Here you are in the tight version now. With the 2 of them, you can see the color kind of sits. That's a good fit right there. Good fit. 2 of them are hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder. I can see both. The running back can see both of their numbers. We're in a dead sprint off the football here, and you can see everybody sprinting. Great timing of the get off. Again, if I'm the right guard right here, don't get off until a linebacker threatens my play side half or threatens my gap. Here you are with the right guard. Again, the right guard in the center. You got to give 77 a little love. He's very emotional. So here's 77 as the right guard. Good target, good footwork. Again, his play side gap at the start of the play is threatened. He's covered on his outside shoulder. He has to block that man. Away. I'm blocking the midline of the nose guard. Color goes away, I snap opposite and climb. And again, when you say snap opposite, again, it's a term in outside zone. It usually works out better in tight zone for them to actually be able to snap opposite. It's a mentality. In outside zone, very rarely will you see them ever. He won't be able to sure it up for the backside guy unless the backside guy is just totally beat. That's a good job. And again, if you watch 61 on this, he puts the brakes on 1, 2, 3. He can't get the color. He continues to climb. There's nothing awkward about his body. He's not. His weight isn't over his left foot too much where he's off balance. He's sprinting for that target. If the target goes away, climb to the next level and assault the second level. Watch 71. He's in an assault. He's climbing to that second level and creating space for the running back.